from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios. You're listening to 106.3 KXNO. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network and 106.3 KXNO.
All right, good afternoon. Welcome, Miller and Condon on a Friday. The Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent Condon, Ken Miller, next couple of hours to talk sports with you. Appreciate you starting your afternoon. For some of you, starting your weekend. If you're ducking out early, lucky going back to the office, lucky ducks, although we don't have too bad.
No, not at all.
Here's what's coming up on our program. We'll hit the Las Vegas at the bottom of the hour. Our friend Mike Palm, VP of Operations at Circa, is going to join us. We've a number of issues, including Game 7, NBA tomorrow night. Talk to Mike about that, do some baseball, some football, some contests. We'll run around the topics with Mike Palm coming up here at 12:30. 1 o'clock, Eugene Rapay covers Iowa State. We'll get Eugene's take on what the Big 12 came from the Big 12 meetings earlier this week, amongst other things, when Eugene joins us at 1:02. Tom Kakert, 1:25. The latest on the Hawkeyes. Trent will make some picks, and we'll turn things over to off the bench, although I don't think either one of them are here today.
They're off.
They're off. Alex Bussey's wedding? Is that what I'm led to believe?
Yeah.
Good for them. Well, good for him.
Alex getting married.
Yes, congratulations.
Is he getting married here? Do you know?
I don't.
Neither of us got in.
You know what? He must, because I doubt that everybody else is jumping on a plane going anywhere.
I don't know.
I guess we don't know. Well, we do know that he's getting married. Congratulations to him and his bride soon to be. And I think I did hear that Chuck Reed is filling in this afternoon.
Oh, great.
At 2 o'clock. The voice of Drake football.
Yes.
Chuck Reed will be here. Known Chuck a long time. One of the first people I met when I moved to the country.
Really?
Chuck Reed.
At the track?
At the track.
Of course.
Yes, at the track.
Of the people that you still see from time to time, contact, things like that, what percentage came from the racetrack?
In Iowa?
Yeah. When you moved here and people that you still see, talk to.
I don't see too many people.
That's true.
90%? Yeah, probably. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
80, 90%. Yeah. Anyways, Chuck will be filling in today at 2 o'clock. So let's go back to last night. I thought OKC would end it just to get it done, get it over with. I'm glad they didn't, obviously. We got a Game 7, the two magic words in all of sports. And OKC's only a 3.5-point favorite. I was surprised at that, Trent.
So we've seen blowouts the last two games. I was not surprised by it. I was on the Spurs side. I thought we were going to see a Game 7. You also saw the referees that came out in the middle of the afternoon, and one is very decided advantage for the Spurs. I can't remember the guy's name.
Really?
Offhand, yeah. Like the Spurs were like 29-11 against the spread when he refs their games. And the Thunder
is he
were
available tomorrow night as the guys are rooting for the Spurs?
Right. He is not. I don't think he will be back out there. But I saw that little nugget to it. I kind of got a chuckle out of it. But it just, we see this home teams, how different they are, and the role players and the next tier of stars. And you could see it right away with Wemby too.
Yeah.
And what he looked like
when he blocked Holmgren.
What he looked like in Game 5 compared to Game 6, it's two different guys.
Yeah, it was.
So tell me right now, if you can tell me what Wemby looks like from the opening jump, I believe we'll see the same guy as last night because I believe in him and I believe in the talent.
I want to see a good game. You know what? Sports betting aside, I want to see a good game in Game 7. Yes, exactly. Entertain us. I'm fingers crossed that they will. SGA, he's going to have a better game, one would assume, than he did last night. But you're right, it's been role players on both sides of this tournament. Can we call Caruso a role player?
Yes, absolutely.
So he fits. But I think any talk that he's going to pull an upset and win the MVP of the Western Conference Final, I think that probably is gone now. What, they held them to 7 or 8 points yesterday. Didn't have the best game, but really nobody on OKC did. It was close for, what was it, like 6 points, maybe a 1 point early in the third quarter, and then they just went on an unbelievable run, and OKC couldn't score, San Antonio couldn't miss, and away we go.
Think of what we've had for basically the last 2 weeks now in the NBA. Going back to our last Game 7. Cavs Pistons. Blowout.
Sweep.
Yeah. It was just an absolute hideous game.
Yep.
We start Game 1. Spurs pull the upset. Great game, double overtime.
Yep.
Game 1 of the East, the ridiculous comeback by the Knicks. That was awesome. Since then, starting
what have we got?
Wednesday, May 20th, we had the Thunder kept him at arm's reach, won by 9. That was the high water mark.
And that was game 2
That was game 2.
Yep.
And it never felt like the Spurs were really
Series tied 1 apiece.
Knicks take game 2 by 16. Game 3, Thunder win by 15. Game 3 of the Knicks and Cavs. Knicks win by 13. We go to Sunday, May 24th, a 21-point win for the Spurs in San Antonio. How about a 37-point win to complete the sweep by the Knicks? We go to Tuesday, Thunder win it by 13, and then we go to last night, a 27-point win for the Spurs.
Wow, are we due?
We have invested a lot of time in a lot of bad basketball. Please help us out, basketball gods.
Sports God, do us a favor.
My goodness. Talk about wasted time.
You know what? I guess I didn't realize it had been that bad. I knew it was not entertaining. I mean, I find myself in the middle of the fourth quarter looking for a West Coast ball game. And last night there was nothing. 7 o'clock was the Houston v. Rangers was the last game of the night. First pitch was 7:05.
I was on Prime. I was watching the Fever last night.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I watched almost all of it. And you forget about it. I know.
It's I can't believe I forgot about that game. We talked about it all week.
Right.
The rematch.
You were so pumped up for it.
Yes.
It was a great game. It was a really compelling game. Caitlin.
By the look of the box score, that was one of her worst games. She had 16.
She had a 3 that got it, I think, gave them the lead.
That was late in the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
From the right wing.
And then didn't touch the ball in the final possession?
Well, and they tapped it back and got the timeout. They're running basically that flood play where you're just bringing everybody forward.
Do what you can, get under the basket, and hopefully somebody
and
gets
get something there.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. You knew what they were going to do. If there was any kind of standard kind of setup there, they're going to double Caitlin, and somebody else was going to have to shoot it. But just overall, fun, compelling game. The only reason, though,
was it sold out, by the way? Could you tell her to
it was
announce
loud.
it? Was it?
Oh, yeah. It was. And every time she touched it, the Valkyrie fans.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
She's getting the superstar treatment on the road finally.
Absolutely.
Instead of getting cheered for her, she did her first year.
Well, I think it helped, too, the week build up after
the
rematch.
Absolutely did.
I'm sure out there, that's probably been a big talking point. They get good.
You know what? Funny you mentioned that. I did see something about that. They interviewed the coach of the Valkyries. Don't ask me her name. I don't know.
I don't either.
But she was asked if she thought she was. I can't believe I forgot all about
that.
And
game. The only reason that I stumbled across it, I told you a couple summers back, State Fair got us. So we went from DirecTV to DirecTV Stream.
So hang on a second. Yeah. You signed up at the State Fair?
Got a great deal.
You did? So you were in what's it called? The Varied Industries building?
Absolutely.
Everybody's hawking their stuff.
Absolutely.
How about you, Mr. Step Right Up?
Yep. And, they probably had some trinket that the kids wanted to grab. Like, no, we're good. We already have DirecTV. They're like, well, this is DirecTV Stream. This is actually separate from DirecTV. They showed us, so we saved a ton of money. Okay, we'll do it. Don't have to worry about the satellite dish.
Get everything?
Get it, every single thing that we always did. It's just without the satellite dish, and that's great during storms.
Absolutely is, yeah.
No,
so you don't have TV anymore.
Right, I guess you're right. Yeah, I don't have what we think of us old guys as standard television. We have DirecTV Stream. Saved a ton, did that. And every time now that we turn on our TV, it goes to the home screen where all of our TVs, where it has all the apps, including the DirecTV Stream app. Well, on that, because we have Fire Sticks, Amazon Fire Sticks, Amazon Prime is always prominently displayed. And on top of it...
Is Fire Stick the thing you screw into your TV?
Yep, in the back. Well, you don't screw it in. You plug it in.
Okay, yeah.
But that is what you get all your apps through. And then that's how it connects to your TV. So you got everything downloaded and got Peacock.
Was that a 67-year-old question, by the way?
Sorry. You nailed that one. Yeah. That is at the top, though, an ad, Fever versus Valkyries. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's happening. After we got the kids to bed, I'm like, perfect. Flip it on. It was as simple as that. So if I didn't have that, though, if I was still old school and just flip on the DirecTV box, I probably would have forgot about it.
Well, I did. I totally forgot about it. And I didn't see anything on Twitter about it. I guess, what am I on? I don't know what it was on. Was it For You or just Wild West portion of Twitter? I didn't see anything, so it didn't jog my memory. And I wish I would have seen it. So was it physical?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Was it officiated fairly?
I thought so.
Yeah. Both teams had beefs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Caitlin got a couple fouls against her that were, maybe ticky-tack.
Uh-huh.
And she was frustrated by that, but she just didn't play that well. She had the back brace on when she was out of the game a couple of times.
She did.
Yeah, that goes across the midsection, that wraps
Is
all the way
it
around.
heated, and is there
I think so.
maybe a vibrating mechanism in it?
That's
Perhaps.
kind of what it looked like,
Yeah,
but Stephanie White gave it to her a couple of times.
Uh-huh. I saw her at the baseball game the day before she was at the Giants game.
Yes.
With Connor.
Yes.
So does he travel with the team?
He's got nothing else to do. I mean, when you're a Nepo baby, it must be pretty nice, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to have a job.
Uh-huh.
Just follow around your superstar girlfriend.
Well, you know what? At the same time, it does have its. I was going to say benefits. Of course, it does. But I'm going in an entirely different direction for where your minds are taking you. He's 6'5", and he's not a shrinking violet by any means.
No.
And I'm guessing, if I don't, does she have a bodyguard?
Well, I would assume she
Has to, right?
Yes.
At this point, doesn't hurt that he's there either.
You're right. Yeah.
That's where I'm
A
going.
little more muscle to it.
Right, yeah. And, he doesn't, I always like the dude. I love that part of him. The fact that he gets his nose dirty, and he came across to me like he had a little hockey player in him. So
Basketball player, definly.
Yeah.
As a person,
Yeah,
feels like he leaves something to be
he
desired.
does at this point. Yeah, I'm with you. He kind of tarnished his image, fair to say.
Yes.
When people walk up to him in the airport and go Hawks, and he pisses them off. Well,
Do you find it odd that we have not heard anything from Caitlin with this basketball tournament, the men's basketball tournament? There was no tweet, go Hawks. There was nothing there. She hasn't been back in Carver now for a long time. There hasn't been any connections with her and the women's basketball program.
there hasn't.
I haven't
See,
seen
I
anything
find
in
that
over a year.
part weird.
Yes.
That's the love of her life.
That's fair.
The fact that, and I'll take your word for it, that she has not made any contact at all with Jen Jensen,
Oh, I don't know about that.
or done anything publicly,
Right.
expressed her optimism or whatever. Well, that's different, but she's moved on and she's graduated, and she's still a hell of a player and a great story and fantastic for the league. But I don't know that part. But she did go to the ball game the other day, and it was right there in row 2. Good for her. Anyways, a couple of other things we need to talk about baseball wise, because these two Chicago teams, one of them, the White Sox, as you know, TC, were beating your Twins the last couple of nights. The White Sox, as we sit here today, would be in the playoffs, but it's the Cubs the last couple of nights that look, I did not think after they put up a 10 spot on Wednesday night that they were going to be able to come back and beat Paul Skeens. It's Colin Ray versus Paul Skeens, right? What do you like in that game?
Well, I had the handicap plus 150 with the Cubs last night.
You did have the Cubs.
Yeah, 5-2 last night.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Colin Ray was really good.
He was.
Colin Ray was really good. Paul Skeens was really good for 5 1/3, whatever it was that he was in there.
Do you feel like maybe you did overreact just a
No,
little?
I don't think I did, because it's the pitching staff. I don't think I did. The bats have come alive.
They have.
Big series this weekend in
yes.
St. Louis, 3 games set in St.
If we didn't have a game 7, this would be, for me,
Where you would be this
the
weekend?
5-star.
Oh, that's because that's a Fox game tomorrow night, isn't it? And it's Sunday night baseball on Sunday night.
At least we'll get that.
Yep.
What do we got hockey-wise?
Tonight we got game 5 in Carolina,
Which could close it out.
which could close it out. Yeah.
Sunday night baseball, that could be big, though.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
So there will be no NBA.
There will not
So Cubs Cards gets the full NBC treatment.
I believe so.
Well, you know what? I've got the schedule right in front of me, and I can find it out very quickly.
Game 7, that is one thing that we know that just takes precedent.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
When we get game 7s, we are definitely excited about that. But you take it a step further.
Yeah, NBC, 6:20 first pitch.
Good.
Wicks v. Liberatore, Jordan Wicks. Good luck, my friend.
That doesn't sound overly compelling. Coming up this weekend, your national broadcasts. You got Saturday, FS1, 3 o'clock. Hunter Onion on the call. Royals at the Rangers.
Really?
Yeah. Fox, of course, we'll get Cubs, Cardinals. There's also Atlanta. Cincinnati's also a part of that one on Fox.
Yeah, we're not
split.
getting that one. If we don't get Cubs Cards, I mean, come on.
One thing that I've also noticed, and speaking of what I was talking about with my streaming apps, is Peacock pops up from time to time, is there's been a lot of baseball games, a lot of national games on that I found more and more on Peacock. Just
Really?
random games during the week. There's one Saturday night, 8:30 first pitch, Yankees at A's. nothing else going on. I find my way over to Peacock, and MLB Network also has got Phillies Dodgers on Saturday night.
I'm starting to wonder if I need all of the MLB package. Although, you know what? At the same time, it's really nice to get an A's game versus, even though nobody cares.
Right.
It's just noise.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that, having that with the what do they call it? The extra innings package.
Because I just have the sports pack where I get all the regional teams through DirecTV: Cardinals, Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, Twins, Royals. So I get them coupled with these Peacock games. MLB Network always has something on in the evening.
FS1's got games periodically.
I feel like I probably see 40 Dodgers games at night that's just on in the background somewhere.
Yep.
Just because I'm doing other things and that's just there. And MLB Network, whenever possible, feels like they put those games on.
No, you're right.
But overall, I feel like.
So what did you cut your bill from?
Oh, 220 to the first couple months was like 70.
Right.
Now it's about 130.
That's not $7 a month.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Trevor in here. Then we'll move on. We will get to Mike Palm coming up at the bottom of the hour. Hi, Trevor. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
What's on your mind?
So first of all, I'm a wrestling fan. So,
Okay.
I mean, I wrestled forever. There's always going to be that bad blood. But I just, I'm a big competitor. I like to watch all the games and all that. But watching that game last night, it's almost getting unbearable to watch it. It's like just the flopping, and it's ridiculous. And I don't know, it's like maybe I watch all the sports. And
you watch hockey?
Oh, yeah, I watch a little bit of hockey. Frozen 4 is where it's at.
That was so good, wasn't it? My God. Yeah.
But the hockey, it's just like the only sport that the players, and mainly SGA, but like they actively try and get a foul in order to score points or something like you don't see football players actively trying to get a penalty or stuff like this in baseball. Like it's just the only sport, and it's getting unbearable to watch.
Yeah, and I think SGA is the poster child for it, Trevor. I do. I appreciate the call.
Oh, 100%.
Yep. Thanks for your thought. When it comes to hockey, they've put in an embellishment rule.
Yes.
So you can, which is up to the referee. I mean, I've seen some embellishment. Come on. You get hit with a stick there. Let's see if you stand straight up. Of course you don't.
Well, and let's take it a step further then. Let's bring an embellishment rule to the NBA.
But don't they have a flopping
They
rule?
do, but I don't think it goes far enough. How about we have the command center in New York, not as the game's happening, but afterwards. When we find out the next day there's been an additional, and you hit, much like the technical fouls. When things were getting out of control, they came up with a mechanism because Rasheed Wallace is getting 100 technicals a year. We have to do something. It led to suspensions that were going on. Both teams played hard, my man. The greatest quote, Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
You put in this kind of mechanism where, you know what, 3 times last night, SGA flopped.
Yeah.
Refs didn't called it. Whatever happened on the floor is fine. But we went back, we reviewed the tape. He's got 3. And once you hit 20 flops in a season, suspension. And he hit 40 flops.
I'm all for it. The one caveat I would put in there is you only count them if there was a foul called against the guy that SGA flopped on.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of flopping, if there's no call, he's on the floor and he's out of the play. But if he draws a foul that's not a foul, then maybe you get a limit of those, and then the suspension or the not a fine. Fines don't matter. These guys make, they make hundreds of millions of dollars. You can't fine them enough, but you can suspend them and you can take them out of the game, and maybe that gets the message across. But fines do absolutely nothing.
And we've seen in the NBA, they've changed rules on the fly. We saw just a year ago where the offenses were getting too ridiculous. We're like, you know what? We're going to start letting them play a little more defense here and start to be a little bit more physical. That happened in the middle of the regular season. If it gets to that level and you can change that, you can definitely change something here because it's unwatchable. It's not a good product.
I totally
when you
agree.
have that, and it's not just him. And then you look at players like McCain. McCain began his career in Philly? Now he's here and he looks like a completely different player because all of a sudden the head throwback thing and the flopping, it drives not just me, not just you. I think any basketball fan, it drives people crazy. This is something that the Thunder are taught. When it happens up and down your roster, and you see new players come in, and suddenly their game starts to change, you absolutely see that something needs to be done.
Yeah, the head snapping. Oh, drives me nuts. Here's Randy. Randy, welcome to the show. How are you? There goes Randy.
Randy's out.
No.
He had a question for you.
He did. What did he?
I don't know what it was.
Well, sorry about that.
Yeah, you can go back though.
You can. Mike Palm coming up, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. How's our Circa Sports 25th anniversary going? I know we haven't drawn for it, obviously.
Yes.
But I've seen that some of the registration numbers have been very promising.
Absolutely. We are well into 4 figures now in terms of people that have signed up for it. And you still have an opportunity. Remember, you can sign up each and every day. This is not signed up once, you're good. You can have multiple entries. Go to kxno.com. You'll see the link there. Sign up and your opportunity. It's going to be a great time. We're going to go out Sunday, get there Sunday evening. We'll be doing our shows from Stadium Swim on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have VIP access at the world's largest sports book. You've heard Ken and I talk about it for years now. It is, if you've never seen it, it's impossible to describe. The pictures that you see are incredible, but when you see it in person, it is just a complete.
If you love sports.
Yes, even if you don't. I've had aunts, uncles, family members that are not. My aunt, not a big sports fan, but we talk about it. They went, and she said the same thing. Couldn't believe that this was a sports book. She's been going to Vegas for years and years and years, and couldn't believe what it looked like.
Speaking of going to Vegas, how about Caesars being sold? Did you see that
I
yesterday?
did.
And they got a bunch of properties. The Flamingo, the Link, I think Planet Hollywood is theirs. Obviously, Caesar's Palace. They own a couple of racetracks in the country. They're they have to be in every state that sports wagering is legal, which is how many now? Like 35, something like that. Mid-30s. That is a massive, massive sale. Westgate went 2 months ago, right? And it was sold to Caesars, was it not? Now Caesars turns around and flips it, and everything else to the guy who owns Rockets, Fertitta.
Wild, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's the big the University of Houston backer.
He is, and on top of it, I forgot about this. So when we had Scott on the other day, talking WNBA, the Kinetic Sun, do you remember they're moving? This is their last.
You know, he said that in the middle of our conversation. I did not know that. Where are they moving to?
Houston.
Are they?
The Houston Comets are coming back. But here's something weird because he brought that up, and I want to jog my memory, and I kind of, well, it's Fertitta that bought it.
Did he?
From the tribe that owns the Connecticut Sun.
And they play in the casino.
They do, yes. There were 2 investors from New England that offered more than Fertitta did for them. Now, one wanted to move the Sun to Boston. The other wanted to move them to Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Still, isn't that a slap in the face to that region?
It is.
Where you're not going to get the most money for a franchise.
So this will be the second year that they've stunk.
Yeah.
Connecticut was one of the teams, right?
Yes, they were. And then they were a big disappointment last year. That was Caitlin's first game, her rookie year, was against Connecticut. Remember how she just got beat up?
Yes, I do.
I did a game watch over.
And I remember coming
Circa.
in. I remember coming in the next day and being glad that she didn't come in and just dominate the league in game 1. Now she did in game 2 and subsequently going forward. But yeah, I do remember that. I didn't remember the opponent, but I do remember the circumstances around it.
This is going to be different for Caitlin.
Yeah,
and we have seen that.
So we'll talk to Mike Palm, Vegas topics. I think I'm going to bring up Caesars with Mike, just because some of the ramifications on that. And Caesars, by the way, they are the Prairie Meadows.
Okay.
Their retail outlet at PRM. Take a time out, come back. We will be joined by Mike Palm, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. Hour number 2, Eugene Rapay will kick it off. No news on Momcilovic other than the fact that he's removed his name from the draft. He's going to play college basketball some way. Well, it seems like most of the smoke is around Kentucky at this point.
Yes, yeah. I would be
St. John's is out. They got Yusufu from Baylor. Louisville still kicking the tires.
I guess, but I think it's Kentucky is a minus 450 favorite.
Really? That's Arizona still getting.
That's what the kind of casino's laying right now.
Okay. And
not available to actually bet at.
No. He will instantly, if he signs with Kentucky, be making more money than his head coach.
Yeah.
Mark 12 makes between $4 and $5 million.
One thing that I also saw, it was an article from On3 about him today, was that $6 million figure that we first heard. It's more like 7.5, 7.7.
Is that right now? I mean, did anybody think that there would come a time, very quickly, by the way, that the players would be making more than the coaches? I mean, it happens in sports, obviously, in pro sports.
Yes.
But I didn't think we would get there in college sports.
Not like this. Not this quickly. And not a knock, Blonde Monchilovich.
Yeah.
If there is, I don't know.
Best shooter in the country last year. Give you that.
Yeah. But still a player that is not a surefire.
Yep.
If there is a guy coming back for another year of college, a quarterback, that's a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that Julian Sand this year has an incredible year.
Yep.
Jeremiah Smith, even those guys. But is it the basketball part of it too, that just individuals can make that big of an impact? But to get to this level this quickly, and he might have 2 years.
$7.5 million.
2 years, 15. Sound good? If the 5 for 5 goes through.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. Get what you can. I didn't think you'd be getting this much.
That or playing in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Of course you can play
for $38,000 a year.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Wow. Miller and Condon back with Mike Palm, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. We're underway on our Fridays, the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
It happens only once a year in Las Vegas.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
Is back.
Put your hands in the air.
One stage, 2 nights.
are you ready? Featuring the biggest names in music. Live, loud, and always full of surprises. Hear it live on iHeartRadio and streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Listen for the reveal of our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Tuesday morning at 7.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com and not eligible. Does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
You should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Billshappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types, get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio hosts' product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. Again, that's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed,
I found Nirvana! I win!
They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Iowa. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
When you're at work, you never know when you'll be interrupted. But with the Dell Pro, powered by Intel Core Ultra with vPro, no matter what distracts you, your laptop won't. It's battery optimized for the way you work with built-in intelligence that quiets distractions when you need to focus. Your laptop will help keep you locked in, even when it's bring your dog to work day. Built for those who stay in the flow. The Dell Pro, built for you. Dell.com/Dell-Pro.
Ken and Trent are back in 60 seconds, right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
We're the first people to do podcasts. We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but you know,
tired and sick.
Tired and sick.
Listen to Hey Jonas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hey Jonas and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
You're listening to Miller and Condon. Defense hit, wide open on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Just past 12:30 on a Friday, with you until 2 o'clock. Off the bench coming up at that time. Trent's plays of the day just prior to. They are sponsored by Circa Sports. Let's head to Las Vegas. Mike Palm, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. He joins us. Mike, Trent, and Ken, thank you for coming on. How are you, Mike Palm?
Not bad. How are you guys?
I'm doing okay. Hey, before we get into basketball, etc., just how big did the Caesars news, did it reverberate across Las Vegas that of all properties and of all brand names, Caesars, as big as there is and it's been around forever, as you know, was purchased? How big of a story was that in Vegas and then throughout the country yesterday, Mike? Any idea?
Well, maybe it's a bigger story throughout the country because, Tillman Fertitta's been trying to pull this deal off for a couple of years. So it wasn't shocking. It was all about getting the financing and then the right price that he wanted. So it wasn't shocking. There's obviously more questions it raises than it answers about what he's going to do with the Caesars properties, and specifically, he has his own sports book with Golden Nugget. How does that all jibe? I mean, Caesars has like 64 different books across the country, and William Hill in that. So that'll be interesting how that plays out in the near term.
When you look at those kind of sales, Caesars feels very big. What does that mean for a better here in the state of Iowa? What does that mean for just people across the country? I don't know market share wise, kind of where they rate, but what does that mean? And who are some potential buyers? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I don't. I don't know if it's good for a better. I don't know if consolidating lines is good, although it's happening naturally, right? I mean, there were so many different companies got into booking sports that it was, too much. And so now eventually you're going to get down to a handful of operators in these states that are able to, do it and stay afloat.
Let's get into basketball, Mike. Obviously, we'll get a Game 7 tomorrow. We had a Game 6 last night. What did you see as far as numbers-wise? Were more people on the Spurs at Circa? Did you need OKC last night?
Yeah, we did. And what's really interesting is in the book and at Stadium Swim on these Western Conference Finals games, boy, it's 85% Spurs fans. Even like when there were some nights where the Knights played on the same night, right, as the Spurs and OKC, there were just as many Spurs jerseys as there were Knights jerseys.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprised me. I talked to my son yesterday and I asked him, what are Golden Knight fans filling up the book? He said, yeah, I can't remember his last night. Maybe it was the last game of the Game 4 of the sweep, but he was pleasantly surprised how many VGK fans continue to support this team and continue to show up at Circa and watch these games, because in the past you guys have had multiple game watches through the years.
Oh yeah, and we used to have them at DLB, and then we've had them at Stadium Swim, and we didn't get one in that Western Conference Finals one, so hopefully we'll get either Game 1 or Game 2 for the Stanley Cup final.
When we look back at what Vegas did against Colorado, not just winning the series, but doing it in a sweep, I know injuries were a big part of it, Mike, but talk about a surprising result. And was there any liability that you guys had? Did anybody with a big wager have the Vegas Golden Knights to pull off the sweep?
No, nobody did. And the future book is good to all three of these four teams. It's good to the favorites. I mean, Jeff Davis did a wonderful job of booking. You need Colorado, Las Vegas, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. So Montreal is the only team that hurts us from a futures perspective. Most bets were on Colorado and 5 or 6. It didn't have any real effect in terms of our success in the book.
Most teams, Colorado, 5 or 6 games. Think about the shift that as it goes VGK's way in 4. Why can't they win the Stanley Cup, Mike? And it seems like it's going to be Carolina. Why can't Vegas beat Carolina? They'll be a dog in this series. Not a big dog, I don't think. But fans are going to lead. Bettors are going to lead Hurricanes. Are you buying Carolina?
Well, I think that this should be more like a pick 'em.
I do too.
I have Carter Hart at 40-1 for Conn Smythe. That was my way of hedging my Colorado ticket. I guess I still can't believe he's still 20-1. I guess there's that factor of will the voters not vote for him because of the the rape trial in Ontario. I don't know. I don't think American voters even paid that much attention to that. I think that was a much bigger deal in Canada.
It was,
but
for
we'll
sure.
See.
Yep.
And obviously, there's some sentiment for Marner or even Dorofeev, so it's not a slam dunk. But boy, has Hart played well really since the first, maybe game 4 of the Utah series. He's been terrific. So, and I certainly think it's a goaltending advantage Vegas here of Hart over Freddie Anderson in the finals. And this Vegas team has cup credentials, whereas Carolina and Brind'Amour do not.
Yeah, fair point. They absolutely do. Mitch Marner's been unbelievable. I don't know if he was overshadowed in Toronto or didn't like the stage that he was put on, which surprised me. He's from there. He had to know what it was like playing for there's more hockey media in Toronto than anywhere else, but he's flourished in Las Vegas. What's behind it, do you think?
He could be sitting in the circuit book right now watching the college baseball regionals, and no one would know him or bother him, right? Very few people would. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
And this Toronto is just it's like New York for media for Americans, right?
Yep.
It's a very tough media, and certain personalities don't handle that well. Sonny Gray, I call him small market Sonny. Sonny Gray has always been good when he can pitch in small to mid markets and not when he got in big markets. Some people are built that way. I have to say, though, Vegas has taken stars from other teams, right? And all these deals that they make that didn't win where they were. And sometimes the rap was these guys weren't winners, like Marner, like Eichel, or even to some extent Stone, although he's in a tough spot in Ottawa, they weren't expected to win. Right. And they've all come and had a much different atmosphere here in Las Vegas and flourished.
Mike, I saw some markets out there, back to basketball, that had the Knicks, I think this was before game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, had the Knicks plus 225 if they took on the Thunder, plus 220 if it was against the Spurs. By the time we get there, regardless if it's the Thunder or the Spurs that are facing the Knicks, that price is going to be a lot shorter when that's late, isn't it?
I don't know. We have a Knicks at a much higher price. We are about 215 versus the Spurs, but we're at 275 versus Thunder.
Okay.
I don't know if the fact that it went 7 games makes a big difference. The health of the Thunder is the biggest factor, right? So are they going to have a full complement of players, or are they going to have to play the Knicks short-handed? If I'm the Knicks, I almost want to play a banged-up Thunder team rather than San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Would you bet the Knicks to win the series regardless who it is?
I'm not laying a price there. I don't bet too many futures. I had some Timberwolves stuff that I won with a few bets and lost with a few others. But no, I wouldn't. I mean, I think it's a great story. It's good for, the NBA that New York is involved, and good for all those people in New York. And maybe it's better if San Antonio wins. I don't know. I know there's a lot of talk about the style of play with Oklahoma City and the flopping and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But look, they put together an incredible team. With an MVP and with all these other interchangeable parts that you could just keep running these guys in that can defend and shoot threes. And they have plenty of draft capital. And meanwhile, the San Antonio team is the youngest team around, with a guy that's probably going to own the league for the next decade in Wemby. I mean, we talk about, what was it, 80 to 87, the Celtics and Lakers met 4 times in the finals or 3 times. Celtics and 76ers in the East Final, like 5 out of 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of things. I mean, we could be seeing OKC and San Antonio in 5 out of 7 Western Conference Final?
Without a doubt. Yep. Totally agree.
It's going to be, and it's tough for like Minnesota. What are the Timberwolves going to do? Because the way they're constructed, maybe health will change things. We'll see DiVincenzo coming back off that Achilles, what that's going to be. He's not going to be available until probably April, though. It's tough, and not just the Timberwolves, everybody else in
Luka
the West.
Doncic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to jump over to baseball. I know on your show, on The Score on Saturdays, talked a little bit about PCA and what we saw in the week that was for PCA, because it wasn't just what happened out there in the outfield wall with the bachelorette party. There was a whole lot more missing plays. Yet he's barreling the ball up, and finally a couple of hits have started to fall in here these last couple of days. Just overall, your perspective of PCA and a Cubs season that has been about as wild as anything that we've seen a third of the way in.
I saw a funny tweet. You remember that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, States or whatever? The tweet was How to Lose a Division in 10 Days. It was PCA on the cover. Look, the guy had a great half of a season and parlayed it to a $117 million deal. He's an exciting player. That's for sure. But I think he's very immature.
Yep.
And I mean, the running to first base or whatever while challenging the strike three, call. I mean, it's all nonsense behavior. And you can't go from being a plus defender in center field to being a minus defender and not expect it to dramatically affect the team. So I don't know. At least they won the last two games. It's tough. You're missing starting pitching. Colin Ray outpitched Steams last night, so that was good. And you should have an advantage with Imanaga in the first game of the series in St. Louis. But if the playoffs had started yesterday morning, the Cubs wouldn't have been in it. Think about that. Jeez. 3 weeks ago today, they were 29-12 after winning the first game in Texas. So it certainly has been a wild season. Yeah, Bregman's got to start driving the ball. Bregman can't keep hitting ground balls. Mm-hmm. That kills them. Mm-hmm. He's got to start driving the ball. But I think if they stay the course, the offense will be okay. They need to get plus performances out of their starting pitching, which they did, for the first 2 months of the season, and which they didn't, the last 2 weeks.
What kind of week have you had sign-up-wise? Is it still pretty quiet in the infancy of this year's contest?
It's quiet. I think we're pacing like 30 ahead in Survivor and a little behind in the others. So it's, we never really, until we get into July, start worrying about the number too much.
Yeah, it makes sense. What about Dodgers-Phillies this weekend? What might this be? Or, well, I'll ask it this way. Dodgers-Phillies or Cubs-Cards? Which does better business at Circa, considering all the states you're in?
Well, because everybody bets the Dodgers every day, I would say the Dodgers. But obviously, it's a big rivalry series for the Cubs. It's pretty important. It's amazing, the Brewers-Cardinals was a big series in the Central, and Twins-White Sox was a big series in the AL. I think that the National League Cy Young race is really fascinating. Really, really, really fast. Because, I bet Sanchez at 8-1 before the year and Ohtani at 35-1. There's like 6 guys that are very deserving right now. It's very hard to separate. And the one guy you might want to throw out is Steam. It's pretty mind-numbing. But between the kid Mizorowski in Milwaukee, what's Sanchez, 45 in the third now, scoreless inning. Sale just doesn't miss a beat still at this age. Mm-hmm. And Ohtani threw 6 no-hit innings again. He's got an ERA under 1. In the American League, Schlittler is like the only legitimate guy. I throw the refs out, Cease is hurt, and all that stuff. The kid for the White Sox at 20-1 might still be worth a shot.
Davis Martin?
Davis Martin, to me, is the second best pitcher right now. He is the second best case in the American League behind Schlittler. So, but in the National League, it's so very crowded in the Cy Young race. You can go to any one of 6 guys right now.
So let me throw one name at you, and obviously he's got a ton of work to do, and you know where I'm going. Garrett Cole, who's just back, and I get that it's the middle of May before we've seen him, but he looks like Garrett Cole again. If he continues down this trajectory, not saying he's going to have 10 strikeouts every night and win every game, but what does he need to do? Is it too late for him to be a factor, Mike? And I say so as a guy who's got him at 60-1.
I bet him at 60-1 before the year. He's had 2 great starts, and he's 100-1. I don't know. He spotted everybody 9 starts is the problem. The thing that I like, though, is not just that he didn't give up any runs, but he's looked much more efficient than normal. Remember, he was always a high-pitch guy. Mm-hmm. So it's tough for him to get beyond 6, but he's been getting through 5 innings at 50, 55 pitches. You have to love that because he's going to have to stockpile innings because of missing so much time. But in the American League, if Schlittler falters, he has a shot. I would say if he was in the National League, forget about it. Yeah. You've got too many guys to pass.
What about Gavin Williams? I know he's 10-1 now, but
all he does is throw. There's no pitching whatsoever to what that guy does. He's just a thrower, which a little bit of what Mizorowski. If this kid Mizorowski learns how to pitch, he's going to be really dangerous.
Do you remember the uproar when they named it the All-Star game last year? And
God.
So this is what Ohtani wants, right? If he could only win one, MVP or Cy Young this year, because he's done everything else. Yeah. Has he come out publicly and proclaimed that that's the one he wants the most, Mike?
And he said it before the year. That's why I bet 35-1. He said, this is the one trophy I don't have. And I read an article where Dave Roberts said they were going to put him in the rotation.
Yep.
And if at the All-Star break he was still live in the Cy Young race, they would keep him in the rotation. And so that's when I bet him at 35-1, because the knock is he's never going to get enough starts because the Dodgers will manage his time and the hitting and this and that. But if they were going to let him make a run at it, I mean, what can you say? He's got an ERA. He gave up a run because he had the hit batter and the walk and all that. And he gave up a run in 6 innings and his ERA went up. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Meanwhile, it's like the worst 6-inning no-hitter I've ever seen because he had zero command of any of his pitches. Isn't it something that in the course of 72 hours, you had 2 Japanese guys throw 6 innings and no-hit ball, and neither of them even considered to let him go and take a chance, Imai and Ohtani.
Yeah, I was watching the Dodgers game when it happened. Go ahead, Trent.
Mike, I got one more baseball.
By the way, there was a great line the day after. So Tuesday during the White, because I was watching Joe Ryan pitch Tuesday. Awful Schriffen says to Stone, "What are your thoughts on a combined no-hitter?" And Stone said, "Well, generally I'm in favor of them because your team usually wins." And he said, no, of course, it's a deadpan answer, but Schriffen says, no, the historical significance of a combined no-hitter. And Steve Stone said, there is none.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love the Astros putting a kid making his debut to close out that game with a 7-0 lead, and he got it done in that no-hitter. Final thing, last week didn't have a chance to talk to you as I was at the doctor's office, and there was a newspaper in there. And because we're old people, a newspaper, I had to open up the Agatype, and I was going through, and at the time, there were 4 players in the American League with a batting average over 300. 300.
Jeez.
Today, a week later, here we are once again, 4 American League players that have qualified over 300. The baseball that Mike, you grew up with, I grew up with, Ken grew up with, boy, it's dead, isn't it?
So I did this, I think it was last year, I did this thing where I looked at batting average by decade, right? Major League Baseball. And, and like the 70, like if you could take a window of like 75 to 85, so like the average was 264. And then, and then it went into the 90s, it went in 258. And we've gotten to where the batting average is now under 240. That's the Major League batting average. And I believe that there are 22 teams who are hitting below 235 on average. It's just, I look at some of these lineups and they've got 5 guys at 220 or lower. It's everything is a home run or nothing. And it's just not entertaining. I'm watching this White Sox series with the Twins. There's a little bit of the Brewers in this White Sox team.
Yeah.
They move runners along and steal bases, and they play baseball the right way. I'm falling more in love with this team. Anthony Kay, who I thought was their real weak spot of their starters, they moved him to the other side of the rubber. He's had 3 good starts in a row. I just bet him again. I have him at 25-1 to win the division. I just bet him again yesterday at 4-1 to make the playoffs. The American League is awful. I would be really surprised if they don't make the playoffs.
Yep, they're in a good spot to do so today. 30 seconds left, Mike. Will you remember Claude Lemieux?
I remember him because of the great Western Conference rivalry with Colorado and
Detroit.
And Detroit. He was a central part of that. And he was also a big part of that community in the wake of Columbine. Remember, a lot of those guys lived near that high school and what they did to support those families. It's shocking that what he lived to torture, whatever.
It's incredible.
2 days. No, it's really mind blowing.
It really is very sad. Mike Palm, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. Mike, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Good to talk to you, Mike Palm, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. Come back, finish up the hour. Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download.
2-1. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. That means you, Iowa. Yes, that means you, Iowa. 2 teams left, 1 trophy every possession, every fourth quarter swing, every clutch shot. The DraftKings Sportsbook app is now live in Iowa, so whether you're catching tip-off at home of Game 7 or at a bar, you're in on every minute, every game, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Iowa, the finals are in the palm of your hand. New to DraftKings? New DraftKings customers sign up with code KXNO, bet $5 and get $200 in rewards guaranteed. That's code KXNO in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. 21 plus, Iowa only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. This one now? 3, 2, 1. The NBA Finals are in full swing, and the intensity is not letting up. And with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, your winnings get a boost each and every single day, all finals long. Bet player props, bet live from the opening tip to the final possession. Every bucket, every dime, every clutch takeover matters. And DraftKings Sportsbook keeps boosting you all the way through. All DraftKings customers can enjoy a profit boost every single day throughout the finals. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code KXNO to claim your profit boost. That's code KXNO to get a boost every day of the NBA Finals. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. 21 plus, Iowa only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. 1 profit boost per customer per day. NBA playoff bets only. Bet restrictions apply and vary when offered. Max bet and boost vary. Boost only applies to winnings and expires at the end of the last NBA game each day. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Now 4 each. 3, 2, 1. NBA Finals, Trent. The winter sports are coming to an end. 3, 2, 1. Well, Trent, cross our fingers that we get an exciting NBA Finals because this is it. 3, 2, 1. We're down to 2 teams. The finals in the NBA are in front of us.
Birthplace of Western civilization, the place where democracy started, where philosophy started, literature, art, and architecture, Greece. We're going to Athens, to Mykonos, to Santorini, September the 5th through the 15th. Walk through history with me and Mrs. C in Athens, the ancient heart of Greece, with a guided visit to the legendary Acropolis. Then we can all escape to Mykonos, where we will have a wonderful tour through the charming Mykonos town. And that's where we're rolling up our sleeves and doing a Greek cooking class. I can't wait. Next, we get to go to Santorini. It's one of the most breathtaking islands in the Aegean. This is Greece at its finest. Culture, cuisine, unforgettable beauty. Space is limited, so call my friends at Ally Travel today. 515-270-7070. That's 515-270-7070. All you have to do is pack your bags.
Do you remember the last walk-off homer to win the World Series? It's been a while, but the answer is 1993. Do you know when Wolf Roofing started roofing houses? That's right, 1993. Wolf Roofing has been around for a long time. For your next roofing project, put the experience of Wolf Roofing on your side. Find them on the web at wolfroofing.net or give them a call at 515-225-8866 or online wolfroofing.net.
Ken Miller, Trent Condon, Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network. Final 30 seconds, hour number 1. We'll talk Cyclones and Hawks in hour 2. Miller and Condon coming up next on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
It's showtime, and Knoxville Raceway is going old school. Race fans, this is Tony Bachhoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway. Not only sprint car action returns for the Avanti Windows Endorsed Corn Belt Clash May 29th and 30th. For more information, visit KnoxvilleRaceway.com.
You fired up the grill, you strung the lights, you even cleaned the patio furniture. But let's be honest, your cornhole set is an embarrassment. This summer, level up with official American Cornhole League gear. We're talking pro-quality boards, bags, and everything you need to become the undisputed backyard champion of your entire neighborhood. Or at least beat your brother-in-law. Shop now at aclshop.com because summer's too short for bad cornhole.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
This is Sean Roberts. I want to get serious and talk about those who may have a problem with sports betting. You can spot them a mile away, right? Well, this may be a surprise. Anyone can have a problem. You, me, a friend, a neighbor, or people you admire, people you love. It doesn't matter who you are. What does matter is getting help. Contact 1-800-BETS-OFF. No judgment, just help. Brought to you by the Iowa HHS.
Man, whenever I use a sports book, I feel like I'm just getting robbed blind.
Dude, you've got to delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket? How are they any different?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans just like you, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sports books.
For real?
Yep. Sports books take around $9 on a $100 position and then pay out around $500. Polymarket pays out $650 on that same position.
What's the catch?
No catch. Even better, it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident that you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code HEAT for $50 free for your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code HEAT for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code HEAT.
Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters need them. We look out for the helpers because they look out for us. Thank you, first responders! Thank you, first responders!
Help us help first responders in your community today. Go to firstrcf.org to learn more.
I was already prepared to be impressed, but H&H Windows and Doors still exceeded my already high expectations installing our new door and windows. Yep, they are in, and the process from start to finish was quick and easy. The crew from H&H Windows and Doors was in and out in less than a day. Their attention to details like trim and paint makes it look like that brand new sliding glass door has always been in our home. And our new basement windows look so nice, we're getting an estimate to replace the rest of our windows too. H&H Windows and Doors is a small, locally owned family business, and they know how to take care of their customers. Ask about their interest-free financing and lots of options for every budget. One of the best things you could do for your home's energy efficiency, home value, and curb appeal is replace old windows and doors. Call H&H Windows and Doors today at 515-216-4901 or go to hhwindoor.com. Tell them Heather sent you in.
Quick question. Want to go to Vegas with KXNO? We're giving away the Circa Silver Anniversary Experience. Flights, Circa Hotel, food money, stadium swim, sportsbook VIP access, and nights out with the KXNO crew. All for one lucky winner and a guest. And 5 more winners still get the Vegas hookup. You've got until June 28th to enter. Don't hear about it later. Be there. Only from KXNO and Circa. Sign up now at KXNO.com. KXNO AM Des Moines. KXNO FM Ankeny. KKTM HD2 Des Moines. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports talk, and podcasts. Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports, LLC.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Western Conference Finals has delivered everything that we could want. And here we are with the Game 7, and the conversation usually comes back to the same thing. Stars, more specifically SGA and Victor Wembanyama. The numbers tell a pretty simple story. OKC is 3-0 in the series when SGA scores more or matches Wemby's point total. San Antonio, 3-0 when Wemby outscores the reigning MVP. Basketball is obviously more complicated than one stat line, but in a league built around elite talent, Game 7 usually comes down to which star can control the night. The trend of the series suggests Saturday will likely be no different. The supporting cast will play its role. Coaching and officiating will be part of the equation. But when it comes to arguably two of the best players on the planet, which star leaves a bigger imprint on this Game 7 may also be the reason his team goes to the NBA Finals. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. It's only natural. You see these golfers mistaking the True Green lawns for an actual golf course. Have you noticed that?
Come on.
No, I'm serious. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know what it takes to get golf course quality lawns.
So you're saying we could host a tournament out back?
Well, yeah, I guess we can. Get your own golf course quality lawn at truegreen.com. Truegreen.com. Let the pros handle the lawn. Just don't be surprised when golfers.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary and 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
Live from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios, you're listening to 106.3 KXNO. 106.3 KXNO. Ken Miller, Trent Condon. This is Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Miller and Condon, welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network, wherever listening in the state of Iowa. Glad you are. Des Moines Sports Station, 106.3 flagships it. We'll take you until just before 2 o'clock. Coming up in about 20 minutes, Tom Kakert covers Iowa, HawkeyeReport.com, Rivals/On3. Trent plays the day. Circa Sports sponsor those. But let's talk some Iowa State and some Big 12 with our friend Eugene Rapay, who covers Iowa State for the Des Moines Register, and he joins us. Eugene, Trent, and Ken, thank you for coming on. How are things?
Things are good. Another beautiful weekend ahead of us. It was a busy week in Cyclone sports. Some heartbreaking news for some, but overall, pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think, at the end of the day, most saw it coming that Momcilovic and Iowa State had agreed to part ways at some point very early in the process. I mean, when TJ went out and filled his roster as quickly as he did, and Momcilovic stating repeatedly that his goal was to play in the NBA, and knowing the timelines just weren't going to match up with what Iowa State and TJ and Milan wanted. So on they go. I hope he doesn't end up in the Big 12, Eugene. Are you hearing is Arizona a viable landing spot still for him, or in your mind, or from what you're hearing, Kentucky the overwhelming favorite for Momcilovic for the at least 1 year and potentially 2?
Yeah, it feels like Kentucky and Louisville seem to be the most engaged. St. John's just got Tonde Yesufu, so I think that pulls them out of the race. I also just think that the St. John's rumor, like, while on paper they needed a shooter, they could use a wing, it just didn't really seem like a good fit in Pitino's system. But personally, I think that Kentucky and Louisville are still 1-2. Arizona picking up steam late, but Kentucky seems to be the most involved for the longest.
Saw LSU was trying to get involved.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, boy, that guy is a one of one. That is for sure. But
Yes.
it definitely feels like he's going to be getting his mail probably somewhere in Kentucky, Louisville, or Lexington for his services. I guess I shouldn't be surprised because fans, short for fanatical, but a lot of frustration from Iowa State fans about the way that this is played out.
Carryover from football, maybe?
You have that component, the way things ended for Iowa State and the loss in the Sweet 16. There's kind of a lot of scar tissue throughout the years that have definitely built up, but it feels like a fan base that just has a lot of frustrations right now. Are you feeling that same thing from the fans, Eugene?
For sure. There's that heartbreak. I mean, you lose pretty much all the stars from the football team. You lose Audie Crooks on the women's side, and now you see Milan Momcilovic originally planning on going pro, changes direction, and decides to come back to college, and all odds are, it's very unlikely that he's going to come back. So definite heartbreak and frustration. And I totally sympathize with the Iowa State fans. You look at just across the board, all those programs that have been affected over the last year, more like 6 months, really, not even a year, probably more like 5 months. And it's just a tough pill to swallow, especially with Milan Momcilovic, just how talented he was. You would love to see him finish it out at Iowa State and continue on and do it right before going pro. But unfortunately, that's just not how it's going to shake out. And it looks like he will spend a final chapter elsewhere. And it'll be just like kind of the Penn State, where everyone will be keeping tabs on them to see exactly how they're doing. Probably hate watching for some. Some will probably do it more favorably. But for Milan Momcilovic, I don't think it's as devastating as the football team, obviously, or Audie Crooks, but definitely disappointing in the sense that you would have loved to see him in the Cyclone jersey one last time.
Yeah, no question about it. You're spot on. Eugene Rapay from the Des Moines Register joins us. Eugene, it sounds as though there's talk of the Big 12 when it comes to college basketball going back to that 20-game regular season. That was one of the talkers that came out of the meetings earlier this week in Frisco. The likelihood in your mind that that's going to happen?
I think it'll be pretty likely. Usually it feels like when these talks start, it might not be right away. Maybe it might need another year or whatever it may be. But I do feel like that the 20-game league slate will definitely help the Big 12 in just many ways. You look at some other conferences that have been doing it, like the Big East, for example. But just I think that it will help a little bit with the balanced schedules, or make more favorable matchups, and just also just the way that the Big 12 is. It's just such a gauntlet that you're guaranteed to have two more quality games, and I think that can only help teams moving forward. So I don't really see a reason why a lot of coaches would be opposed to it. It just seems like overall a net positive.
There's also a scheduling conversation that came out from your Mark, who said it even before the coaches got there, that they were going to talk about in football going to a 10-game conference schedule. Here in the state of Iowa, does that mean the end of CyHawk potentially? I saw Oregon and Baylor had a series that was just canceled that was supposed to start next season. And you kind of wonder, our state is a little different because it is in-state rivalry, but just overall, are we seeing Big 12 teams that are struggling scheduling against the SEC, against the Big 10? And because of that, maybe it just makes more sense to play yourselves in football and go where each team gets 5 at home, 5 on the road, and then you get 2 bye games for your non-conference. What have you thought on that front, and maybe a good move for the Big 12?
It's a good move until rivalries get threatened. That is something that I definitely do worry about. Like, you'd love to see those rivalries be protected. I feel like over the last 10 years or 15 years, you've seen so many rivalries just kind of fall apart due to realignment or contracts or whatever it may be. So I think on paper it would be a great move for the Big 12. You also kind of eliminate some of those dinky non-conference games.
Yep.
But at the same time, I would, as long as we can keep the CyHawk game going, as long as that is still on the table and protected, then okay, then sign me up for 10 or whatever the Big 12 needs to do to make things better for themselves. But yeah, we can't lose another historic rivalry in the name of realignment or conference goals or scheduling conflicts.
You are preaching to the choir, but man, I kind of lean that may be difficult for I hope I'm wrong. I hope it continues to play every year. What do you make of what the noise that Texas Tech is making over the last couple of days, where Cody Campbell And Joey McGuire, the head coach of, I guess Sarkisian said something about Texas Tech's schedule, and Texas Tech fired back, and they want to cancel their week 1 game. If Texas would cancel their week 1 game, Texas has to play Ohio State in week 2. So it's easy to say, but it's just is this just a what contest? Mine's bigger than yours. Is this what we're hearing from Texas Tech?
That's how I feel about Cody Campbell, especially I feel like over the last year or so. It's definitely one of those types of contests that you've been mentioning there, alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just think it's Texas Tech has just been feeling themselves, and rightfully so. They've been putting some stuff together in this NIL era over the last year and a half that it feels like they've been trying to just make waves, make moves, and sometimes if you got to shout it into existence, so be it. Maybe that's the play, and I feel like Cody Campbell and Joe McGuire, they love that.
Well, I had no idea who Cody Campbell was before about the last year, so mission accomplished.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's like the team mascot, mouthpiece, whatever he wants to be.
Yeah.
His
foreign guy, the VIP over there.
His fingerprints also all over the bill that came out from both sides of Congress. He has a lot of weight, and when you have money, that's the way things have gone, certainly in this country. Eugene, you mentioned CyHawk, and we do not want to lose that one. This is the last scheduled game at Kinnick Stadium coming up this year. Next year is the last scheduled game at Jack Trice Stadium. Jamie Pollard believes that they're trending in a positive direction, but takes 2 to tango here. Not sure, haven't heard much from Beth Getz on that front. What have you heard, if anything, the likelihood of an extension? And you have to feel if there is an extension, there might be some parameters there. If we go to 10 conference games, if our leagues change, those kind of things, whatever the contract is, feels like there's going to be a lot more provisions than there's been in the past.
A lot more outs, I agree.
A ton more provisions, especially if this week 0 thing gets passed and the NCAA Division I committee or cabinet agrees to pass that through and standardize the 14-week schedule with the 2 bye weeks, and week 0 becomes the official universal start date for all teams. And now you throw in this 10-game possibility with the Big 12, a lot more complications than in years past. From talking to Jamie Pollard, he feels optimistic, and he feels like that there is genuine intent from Iowa's side. I know Beth Getz hasn't officially gone on the record yet, but from his conversations with her and their administration and their side, there's definite interest, according to him. And I believe him on that. I think that Jamie Pollard has shown that he's very outspoken, so I feel like if that wasn't the feeling he was getting, he'd probably challenge Iowa and use the media as like a way to get to their side. But I do believe that there's genuine interest on both sides. It's just annoying where you look back at the last 2 extensions for the CyHawk rivalry. Those were pretty much set in stone 4 to 5 years in advance. And now here we are, like you mentioned, the last one at Kinnick coming up this year, and then last one at Jack Trice, and still no extension on the table. You want to see guarantees. I do believe Pollard, and I do believe that there is definite interest on both sides to keep the tradition going. It's just unfortunate that there's a lot of things we need to wait on, and then once this ruling is passed or not passed, and possible changes come up to the college football landscape, then we got to wait a little bit more to deliberate. Okay, now that we know what rules we're working with, or now we know what the new scheduling standards are, how can we fit this into the puzzle piece? So there's still a lot more to work out, even once all these rulings are decided.
Yeah, the 10-game things changed. I wonder, did Pollard say that before he was made aware that Yormark was going to push for a 10-game schedule? Because I wonder if his stance is still the same. I mean, selfishly, I hope it is. But did he say that before? Do you know?
That was technically before, yes.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it. And what about future schedules? Iowa State's got those home games with MAC schools over the last few years. I know they've got to go to Bowling Green. I think Tulane's a home that they've signed. In fact, let me pull it up right. You just wonder if there's going to be room for Iowa. You know what? Maybe it's not going to be Iowa at the time that's going to be seen as the bad guy.
And wouldn't that be crazy?
Wouldn't that be wild?
After the last 25 years?
Iowa doesn't want to play. It's Iowa. But
it's Iowa State Super Bowl. It matters more to them. We don't need them. It doesn't help us. And suddenly for Iowa State, and in a 24-team environment, and if you're going to 10 conference games, doesn't it make sense? Schedule 2 home games, take on an FCS team and a MAC team, try to get a
Northern
couple of
Iowa.
wins.
Right.
And if you can go 9-3 in a 24-team environment, Iowa State's probably a playoff team.
That's wild, Trent. That's absolutely wild.
Eugene, you have not been in this state very long. I will tell you, this would be a complete turnaround from the conversations that Ken and I have had for the better part of a couple
And
decades.
you know what? Pollard wouldn't be wrong in doing it.
Absolutely not. I don't think you could kill him.
You couldn't.
Here's the thing, and I
might come out of retirement if I could, but I couldn't.
Eugene, on this perspective, though, the difficult part for Iowa State is their natural rivals really aren't there. They're not playing the K-State game this year, which is idiotic out of the Big 12. I mean, you talk about a miss, that is a huge miss. They don't have the Nebraska game anymore. All they really have
Kansas has K-State.
Right, is the Iowa matchup. And if you take that away, what does that do to the season ticket base? Because you look at that home schedule, there's some nice games. You got a Utah coming in, and Oklahoma State. Here comes Kansas. But it's just without Iowa there, that might be a tough sell. Is that maybe what Jamie Pollard needs to hang his hat on?
I hope so. And that's when you start to look like, if they do go to 10 games or if they do switch up the scheduling parameters and all that, do you break the contract for one of these, future FCS teams, or do you lose that game or cancel that game to keep this tradition going? I would love to see, how far are they willing to go to keep this going? There's interest now and it sounds great. And Pollard also alluded to this himself, where he said even when they do pass this, or if they do pass this, there's still going to be a lot more kinks to work out. There's going to be a lot of puzzle pieces to work through. And I'm curious to see how far they're willing to go to keep this tradition going. Because like you mentioned, when you take this game off the schedule, it really just takes away a lot of the juice from the season. It takes a lot from Iowa football. And this rivalry has just meant so much to this state. And to me, when I first got here, that was like the first thing I wanted to witness, like my first CyHawk game. Like I was so excited for that and just to be a part of that electric atmosphere. And, when you take that away and all you have now is like a Bowling Green or a SEMO or some FCS school, and then the random Big 12 games. And like we talked about earlier, all these rivalries that have just been falling off by the wayside due to the name of realignment and all these other parameters or whatever it may be. It would just be unfortunate to lose this, even if it's just for a year, even if they're like, for 1 year, they're not going to play it. We saw it right now with the K-State game, like you mentioned. It's already devastating to not have it. It doesn't feel right to have it on the schedule this year. And if you were to take away the CyHawk game, that would just be heartbreaking.
Yeah, they played this year, but then going forward, yikes, for case. So they've got North Dakota, not North Dakota State. North Dakota, what are they now? The Fighting Red Hawks or Fighting
Hawks?
The Hawks of North Dakota, formerly the Fighting Sioux, now the Hawks. They're on there. We'll see where this goes. I don't think it bodes well, Eugene. Unfortunately, I don't think that it does. Unbelievable. All right, good stuff. Eugene Rapay from the Des Moines Register. Thanks for coming on and talking about a variety of topics with us, Eugene. We appreciate it as always. Just to wrap up, your mark in the Big 12, fully committed to 24-team playoff. The only one that's at least at this point that's still not on board is the SEC. Correct?
Correct.
Wonder where it's going to go. Why are they holding out? What do they want? What do they want?
I feel
TV
like the SEC right now too. Yeah, they're always like pushing for more SEC teams, and this would only help their agenda and what they're trying to do. Give us more fifth place SEC teams or sixth place, whatever it may be.
Eugene Rapay, Des Moines Register. Eugene, thanks for jumping on. Talk to you next week. Thank you, pal. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you do the same, Eugene Rapay. Wouldn't that be something? If we get to 10 Big 12 games, Pollard's got to cancel the CyHawk game.
For the betterment of the program? Yeah.
I hate to say it.
You're playing 10 conference games. You're going to be basically the only team in the country then that would likely be playing 11.
And then what do you do with the home and homes that you've already committed to? Tulane.
You buy them out.
You have to, right? You come to our place, but then we're not going to you, Bowling Green. We're not going to New Orleans.
Now, here's one thing. Iowa State does have seasons because they do have those extra home and homes. They've had some years where they only have 6.
Yes.
I just think it comes down to that ticket base, though.
I forgot to ask Eugene. Remember a couple of weeks ago, he told us they put in a FOIA request to get the season ticket numbers.
Yes.
And I asked him last week. Were you gone last week? Yeah, you were. And he said he hadn't. They hadn't heard anything back. It's the right move.
It would be for terms of wins.
Yeah.
Betterment.
For the betterment of the state, it sucks.
But if you're looking at a season ticket base that looks around and says, we really need season tickets.
What's their home schedule this year? Let me get it in front of me.
All
Obviously, the SEMO game and Bowling Green, then Utah, West Virginia, Oklahoma State on Halloween. We're into November. Cincinnati comes, and then K-State wraps it up on the 28th. That's not the shiniest schedule.
It's not.
Who's their rival? Who is it?
I can't believe that.
I mean, didn't the Big 12 trying to make it West Virginia?
Yes,
when they
yeah,
put that.
yep.
Remember that was Paul Rhodes hard hat game.
It
his
was.
last game. I'll never forget that.
The hard hat game. Oh, that was tremendous.
Content wise,
it should be K-State.
Mm-hmm.
K-State, like you said, has Kansas.
They've got Kansas,
and that's okay. You can have teams that have other rivals.
No, sure. But if you don't play them every year,
and when you're trying to sell season tickets,
and when this game's got a name, it's Farmageddon.
That is tough. That is absolutely brutal. I mean, you go to 27. Now the Iowa game is back on there, but you substitute that out of there in a year where you have.
Well, so when would they go to 10 games? Like right away here? Is that what he said?
I don't know. I think this was, you have to have a 2014 playoff. That was the precursor to it.
And are we going to get there, or what? When is the SEC ultimately going to acquiesce, or are they?
I don't think they are.
They won 16.
I don't think it's the SEC. It is one man. It's their commissioner.
Sankey.
It's Sankey. That's it. The coaches,
want it.
Yes, absolutely. Administrators want it. ADs want it. People want it. It's just that the commissioner.
But the commissioner answers to the presidents of the school in most conferences.
No.
Who do they answer to? The president of ESPN?
Boom. That's where it is. I've been on this for weeks now. That's all this is. This is their television partner that has to let things go to bid. If we expand beyond 16, it has to go out to bid again.
Right. So there would be competition for these games.
Absolutely.
And Bezos got a ton of money, and Netflix got a ton of money.
Fox wants to get in.
But just as long as we don't get Gus Johnson.
Well, you will.
Good God. Enough.
Put it on mute. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Miller and Condon, Tom Kakert next. It's the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
It happens only once a year in Las Vegas.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is back.
Reach for your hands in the air.
One stage, 2 nights.
Are you ready? Featuring the biggest names in music. Live, loud, and always full of surprises. We're going home.
Reveal of our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
At 7.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast. And it's called Hey Jonas. Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center designed to restore your confidence and your comfort and put you back in control. Get a clear plan, a private tailored experience, and judgment-free care at iowauro.com.
You've put in the work to get that first job, moved up the ranks, or started a family. Now it's time to take your success to the next level. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we're here to help you keep that momentum going with educational programs built around real-world, in-demand career skills. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus timeless skills like leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Affordable, accredited, and online. A UMGC education fits your life so you can keep growing while you keep going. You've succeeded before. Now succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by June 1st and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
First people to do podcasts. We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but
tired and sick.
Tired and sick. Listen to Hey Jonas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hey Jonas and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
More with Miller and Condon in 60 seconds, right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
After a rough Iowa winter, your roof took a beating. Don't wait for leaks. Get your free inspection and estimate from Wolf Roofing. We'll make sure your home is ready for spring and beyond. Find them online, wolfroofing.net. Wolf Roofing, strong roofs, done right.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Miller and Condon, welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network. Coming up on 1:30 on a Friday. Off the bench coming up at the top of the hour. Chuck Reed sitting in for the boys this afternoon. Let's talk Hawks with Tom Kakert, Big Ten, college football and sports topics. And Tom joined us. Tom, Trent, and Ken, thanks for coming on. We just had Eugene Rapay from the Register. We were talking about the Big 12 and their potential that they may go to a 10-game schedule. And if that's the case, it may not be Iowa who has to play the role of the villain when it comes to ending the CyHawk game, right? I mean, that's on the table, and it makes perfect sense for Jamie Pollard if that's the way they end up going. 7 home games, etc. But it might be the Big 12 in their decision, but potentially to go 10 games that might be the end, bring the end to CyHawk.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Ironic.
Yes. It would be wild. It would just be so funny to me that Iowa State's the one that ends it. And I think if you, and Trent, you can probably back me up on this. If you polled Iowa fans, I think it's probably like 70-30 that Iowa fans would want it to end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That feels about right.
Yep, I'm with you.
You know, I was a longtime proponent of at least a pause in the series, or not every single year, back when it was the move to 9 conference games of the Big Ten and the no flexibility that they had. But with the additions of the 4 Pac-12 schools, now there's more travel opportunities. There's more variety to the schedule. I'm not as a staunch as at least some kind of hiatus with this series, but looking towards the future, looking to the future of the Big 12 and the Big 10, who also has talked about going to 10 as well. We don't know. And the contract's coming to an end in 2 years. Tom, do you think we're going to hear an extension here sometime this summer? Are we going to go into Kinnick Stadium coming up in September, and that will be the last scheduled game for the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones at Kinnick?
Boy, that's a really good question. I think Jamie hinted that they were talking, at least. So I would anticipate they'll probably go along with it. But, I think as the TV partners, if they go to the 2014 playoff and such, I think some of the TV partners are getting kind of frustrated with some of the bad games that people are scheduling. You know, you look at Indiana's 3 non-con games this year. And you're just like, what are you doing? And
I think those TV partners, Fox and ESPN, are going to say, hey, you guys got to give us a better inventory if you want more money out of us. And that means you're not going to go out and schedule each other in these marquee non-con games like Ohio State, Texas very often anymore. So just do another conference game, and we'll take that because that's fine for us. And that's probably fine for you guys. And makes sense because it's always struck me as odd that, one year you got 5 conference games, the next year you got 4. It just, I think 10 games makes sense.
Yep, I do too. Going forward, Iowa after 27, in 27 they got Ball State at Iowa State, North Dakota, and then 28 the only game scheduled non-conference is Western Michigan. 29 they've got Northern Iowa and Northern Illinois, and then 2030 Florida Atlantic shows up on the schedule. So we'll see where it goes. As Trent mentioned in the last segment, if there is a contract that's signed between the two schools, there'll be a lot of outs. I mean, a lot of provisions will be in there that if we go to a 10 game or if, that either school can get out based on a changing landscape of scheduling, I would assume that would be in there. Don't you think, Tom?
I would think so. I just think we're kind of barreling towards some sort of events here pretty soon because it just seems like the status quo can't continue much longer. So something's going to shake loose here with one thing or another, and I'm not sure that the federal government's going to help them either. So I mean, it's just so weird. It's the college athletics is always looking for somebody else to solve their problems for them, and it leads to no good outcomes come from it. It's either the courts deciding things for them and they throw their hands up and said, you guys do what you want, or now trying to get the federal government to solve all of their issues. And it doesn't seem like that's going to do real well, especially that they want to trying to force the Big Ten and the SEC to
give up
pool their media rights.
Yeah.
And pool the media rights. They're not going to do that.
No, give up money.
Why would the SEC and the Big Ten give up all that money?
Nope.
There's no. Why would you do that?
Nope.
It makes no sense.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Nope, nor do I. We'll see where it goes, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. No doubt about that. Tom Kakert is our guest. Tom, why is, other than, I guess, TV, why is Sankey so bound and determined to get – we'll expand, but we're not going to 24. 16 is our number. All his coaches want 24. Everybody wants 24 seemingly, except the commissioner of the SEC and the president of ESPN.
I think that's your answer. It's the president of ESPN, his TV partners. That's probably why Tony Petitti's been for 24, because Fox would like to get into that business.
Yeah.
So it's TV run. The two TV giants run everything, and that's kind of where, if you want to look at where this all, the genesis of all of this, it's probably has as much to do with TV as anything.
Mm-hmm.
Comes down to that money. But for a program like Iowa and their brethren, that middle meaty part of the Big Ten, I can see why all of them want this. It's an opportunity to get in there, and it's an opportunity for the Arkansas of the world and the Wisconsins and the Iowas and good programs, good solid programs. But you saw it last year. How many Hawkeye fans were there in Tampa for the Outback Bowl compared to what it was when you went for the first time in 2003? How different was it 23 years later?
Yeah, I remember that first one, and there was probably 30,000 Iowa fans at that first Outback Bowl.
Yeah,
and now the ReliaQuest, it's probably less than half that that were there. It just, and part of that is Tampa fatigue. I mean, if it was an Orange Bowl or a Rose Bowl, you're going to get a ton more fans. But what I found interesting was that I think it was The Athletic that put that out about that Iowa would have been in like 6 times since the college football playoffs started, if that was what was going on. And you flash that in front of an Iowa fan, and they're like, okay, let's do the 24. It's just like, let's do that. That's perfect. And, in Nebraska, by the way, no times.
That's unbelievable to me.
They have been in there, which is unreal when you think about it.
I wonder if that got brought up on Sippel's show in Lincoln when that list came up. It's Rutgers. What was it? Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue, and Nebraska. It's just unfathomable to me when you think back to where they were and where they are. Just stunning. Just the precipitous fall that this program has gone and finds itself still in.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you would have told somebody that, in 1990, by the way, they're going to go to this 2014 playoff right out of the gate in this college football playoff, and Nebraska would make it 0 times. Somebody would have told you you might need to get committed to an insane asylum. It's crazy, but we'll see what happens this year.
So I want to jump over to a little basketball because this point guard recruiting, it is hard to wrap my mind around. You had Jamie from Rivals on with you earlier on your podcast this week.
Yeah.
The Daughtry kid sounds like, you talk about instant dude, number one, comes in, runs the team for right away. But there's so many other names out there. Kind of fill us in on the details here. And is it a situation whoever wants a spot first is going to commit? Or are they trying to slow play everybody else because they feel like they're in such good shape with Daughtry? Just help us out because point guard, we know the importance of the class of 27.
Yeah, and we know that that's the position they're going to, we got some clarity on one of the guys that kind of popped up last week, and that's Davion Thompson, who Fran offered when he was a freshman. And there were some rumblings like last weekend when I was in KC that he was, thinking about reclassifying. Iowa's name got brought up on, the popular Trilly Donovan site that maybe Iowa was getting involved. But I talked to Ben last night and at the iClub in Muscatine, and he was basically like, because I brought up like, hey, you got to reclass last year, in the month of June, July, you active in that area now. And he just kind of said, no, there really weren't. And then comes out today that Thompson is down to, was it Michigan, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and Baylor. So he's going to make a decision. He may reclassify too. So that will be interesting to see if he does end up reclassifying into another class. And it would be interesting if he goes to Michigan, because Daughtry's top 2 right now are probably Iowa and Michigan, I think.
Go Wolverines. Hope they get him.
Yeah. Everybody hopes that he goes there. I got to see Daughtry last week, and he is the clear number one guy. I haven't seen those guys. To me, he's just dynamite. He just glides around the floor, can score, shoots, finishes around the rim, passes really well, just runs a team. He's a total package. But the problem for Iowa might be that, and Jamie Shaw brought this up on the podcast, that they might just have to hang on because Kentucky's coming after him, UConn's coming after him. I mean, all the blue bloods are coming knocking at his door. Jackson Davis is a kid that I think they really like. He's more of a traditional kind of blue collar, old school point guard from the Chicago area. He actually plays AAU basketball with Davion Thompson, so he's really good, tough kid that I think would play well under Ben McCollum. I think he's kind of a Ben McCollum type guy. I got to see TJ Jamison as well, a kid from Louisiana who's a 4-star, and he's kind of like, I guess I would describe him as Caden Daughtry light, kind of a scoring point guard, finishes, really good leader. He's going to visit June 12th to the 14th, but he wants to take a bunch of visits, so I don't anticipate any news from him. But those are some of the guys. Jalen Davis, another kid. Antonio Pemberton's another kid that they're involved with. So they've got lots of options. I think they'll get somebody on that list. I just don't know who it's going to be at this point.
Football question for me, Tom. We saw the leadership council came out. How rare is it to have 2 quarterbacks named? And then I'll assume that you saw the piece at On 3, an anonymous Big Ten coach crapping on Heklinski. I don't know what's behind that. Maybe he wants to. Maybe he's going to face eye with this year and hopes that his words will help Hank Brown get the job for whatever. But so how rare is it to have 2 quarterbacks on there? And if you had to, I've come full circle on this. I'm starting to think that maybe Hank Brown is at this point, leader in the clubhouse, if you will, as the starting quarterback job, just because Heklinski's a risk taker. You know how Kirk is. He wants the safe guy under there. Your thoughts on those two, the leadership council, and do you think that there is a leader at this point?
Yeah, I think that's probably like, is that the definition of what they're doing of hedging your bets?
Yeah, right.
Kind of get covered on both of them. Whoever wins is going to be in the leadership council, so you don't have to worry about one of them being left off.
Yeah,
if your starting quarterback left off, it probably is.
Yeah.
I still think right now it's Hank Brown, just based on how we know Kirk looked at the world, but it's close. It's extremely close, and I know the choice of the fans is probably Heklinski
because one pass.
Yes, yeah, it's because of one pass.
It's true.
Really, it is. Yeah, it's over one pass, but I think he's probably the fan favorite. Plus, fans love the gunslinger. You throw a gunslinger with them, they're like, I'm in. I'm in. Give me Kenny the Snake Stabler. Give me the gunslinger. Give me Brett Favre. All those guys of the past.
Give me Kyle McCann, not Brad Banks.
Yeah, that's
right.
Chaos. I mean, he's gonna take the safe choice 9 times out of 10. So, but Heklinski can come in fall camp and have less turnovers and not make mistakes and run the team efficiently and win the job very easily.
That's how I see it.
I mean, he won the backup job during a bye week. He took over as a second string quarterback after that Indiana game and had a great week and took care of his business. So it's there for him. Yeah. You just got to go out and take it.
I think it's a coin flip.
Some breaking news from our buddy Chad Leistikow of the Des Moines Register. Michael Meslinski has been granted his 6 year of eligibility and will be eligible for this upcoming season. I think he'll be the guard starter for this Iowa team. He's just got to be healthy. And Tom, you remember his recruitment. And this is a kid that had a Texas, Florida offer coming out, has just never been able to be healthy. He felt like he was going to be a 4-year starter looking at his recruiting profile at center, but great to see him get an opportunity.
And now at guard, right?
Yes. Yep. Now just get some help for this guy. But pretty big news there for Kirk Ferentz, who was a little bit annoyed a couple of weeks ago when I talked to him over at the Polk County I Club that Chambliss had got his eligibility determined and they were still waiting on Meslinski.
Mike actually confirmed it to me about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, nice.
He posted something on social media, basically one last run, and I responded to it and just said it looks like Mike got his extra year of eligibility, and then he responded to me, I did. So it played out on social media.
That's awesome.
So I'm happy for him. I did an interview with him last year, and he chronicled all of the things that he went through in his career, and basically got in some really dark places, and with the help of his brother and Coach Barnett, kind of kept battling and kept fighting and got healthy. And so I'm just hoping that kid gets healthy and gets an opportunity this year.
Heck yeah.
So, happy for Mike, because I love stories like that.
Ditto.
And he's a great kid. So hopefully it all works out.
Tom Kakert, HawkeyeReport.com on 3/Rivals. Tom, thank you as always. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll run you down next Friday. Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Good to talk to you, Tom Kakert. I love that story. HawkeyeReport.com. Really cool. Put up with a lot, hung in there, battled, got back, and the NCAA granted him that extra year. Awesome. Good stuff. All right, come back. We'll finish up our program. Final segment is coming up next before we turn things over to Off the Bench. Chuck Reed filling in today for the boys. And that'll be coming up from 2 until 5. Miller and Condon back with our final segment. It's the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
This June, the Legends of Golf return to Des Moines. The 2026 Principal Charity Classic at Wakanda Club, June 10th through 14th, where legends of the game compete and every swing helps support Iowa youth. Bring the whole family. Tickets start at just $25 and kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now at principalcharityclassic.com. The Principal Charity Classic, because out here, it's more than golf.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Are you looking to upgrade your curb appeal? TNT Landscaping and Nursery is your trusted partner of more than 35 years in Ankeny and the Metro for all your landscaping needs. Browse 5 full acres of trees, plants, and shrubs, their huge nursery selection, and all the landscaping hard goods to get the project done. Hawkeye's Barbecue, also there, and it's a griller's paradise. Visit TNTlandscaping.com for details or stop in at 1313 Southwest Ordnance Road in Ankeny. Tell them Heather sent you in.
What if your next favorite hobby came with a built-in crew? That's Cornhole. Whether you're brand new to the game or just looking for an excuse to get outside, there's a whole world of players out there ready to welcome you in. Local leagues, weekend tournaments, backyard throwdowns. It's all happening near you. Find your people at your next event at iPlayCornhole.com/events. New hobby, new friends. Same you, just having a lot more fun.
This month at Ames Ford, we celebrate American value for American values. Our best price upfront and in writing, now with employee pricing. Unbeatable value on new Ford and over 175 used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Find the SUV for you with new Ford Explorers and Bronco Sports in stock and now offering employee pricing. Or drive away in the all-new Ford F-150 with employee pricing. These deals won't last. Visit us in-store or online at amesford.com.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast.
And it's called Hey Jonas.
Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Saving money on your outdoor needs at Menards. Liquid Fence Deer and Rabbit Repellent prevents animals from damaging your garden. It provides long-lasting, rain-resistant protection and can be used on flowers, shrubs, trees, and more. Save big on Liquid Fence Deer and Rabbit Repellent. On sale now through May 31st. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
You've heard me rave about Kitchen Refresh. They updated our kitchen in just a few days for a fraction of the cost of the custom cabinets that I was pricing out with no demo. That's why Kitchen Refresh has installed over 500 kitchens. You can still use your space while they work. You don't even have to empty cabinets. Your kitchen, bath, bar, or laundry room will get a completely new look with lightning fast speed without sacrificing quality. Go to kitchenrefreshiowa.com for your free in-home consultation. Tell them Heather said they could help.
After a rough Iowa winter, your roof took a beating. Don't wait for leaks. Get your free inspection and estimate from Wolf Roofing. We'll make sure your home is ready for spring and beyond. Find them online, wolfroofing.net. Wolf Roofing, strong roofs, done right.
You're listening to Miller and Condon. Off the bench, Sean Roberts and Lucas here on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Final couple of minutes of our program. Chuck Reed sitting in for the boys this afternoon off the bench, 2 until 5. Chuck has Iowan, NBA, world champion head coach Nick Nurse joining, the current coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. 2:30. Nick Nurse is going to join Chuck, talk a little NBA, and catch up with the UNI grad, Carroll native. Just lost his brother. Did you see that? His brother passed away during the playoffs. It was during the playoffs earlier this month. All right, TC, your plays of the day are coming up. So we didn't have time to do chicken coop today.
Yes.
If we would have, what do you think we would? What would the our 4 contestants, would they have been consensus on who wins game 5 tonight in the NHL? Canes, Habs. Who OKC minus 3.5. What was the other ones I was going to use? Schwarber and Ohtani combined over 1.5 home runs.
Oh, that's a fun one.
They play each other this weekend. And of course, Cubs Cards 3-game set would have been a part of it.
That would have been split.
That would have been split for sure.
Yep. I think that we probably would have been split in the home run prop, though. That's a fun one. Is that available on a sports book?
I don't know.
That'd be a fun one to
It would be, yeah.
just keep an eye on over the weekend, because I have a feeling I'm going to be watching a lot of Dodgers Phillies throughout the evenings.
I think probably the hockey, because everyone's on the big. Carolina has to be a big favorite at home. Game 5, they have to be a big, especially the way Montreal looked in Game 4. They just look gassed.
Minus 240 on the Canes tonight.
Well, Montreal's played 2 7-game playoff series and a bunch of overtime games in there, including 2 against Carolina. They look spent the other night.
Yeah.
I think the Carolina
legs are just out.
Rubber legs. I think they'll probably I don't think we're going to get a game on Sunday night.
What was that note that we got yesterday when we were
I was off yesterday.
Or the day before when we were talking about the NBA and NHL?
Oh, the fact that they may be on top of each other.
Yes.
All of their games.
And it looks like maybe not
as bad.
Good.
Yeah, real good. I think it was Jay Scott that sent along that to us. Obviously, it depends if the Stanley Cup, our finalists are determined tonight, meaning that Carolina takes care of Montreal. We'll see where it goes. Carolina, Las Vegas. What kind of numbers are going to do?
Carolina.
That's where we're headed towards.
Las Vegas. Hockey hotbeds.
Yes. Well, though Vegas kind of is, man. It kind of is. They built a bunch of rinks. I know Mike Palm's kid's son's playing in it.
I saw Derek, by the way, I think behind the net.
That's where he sits.
Yeah. In game 4, I guess.
But now they've also got a suite.
They do. But I am almost positive it was a quick cut, but it looked like they kind of jacket.
They've got 4 seats.
I've seen the seats. Yeah. It didn't zoom in on him or anything, but it looked like it was him sitting back there having a great time and cheering on those Golden Knights. And what an idea that was. Because at first, again,
hockey in the desert,
hockey in Vegas.
I know.
But they did such an incredible job of working with the people that actually live there.
Yep.
And getting them, because look, at this point, everybody has an NFL team.
Yep.
If you're a transplant, you already got a team.
No. Yep.
Hockey was a different kind of sport. And when I think forward,
and they embraced the tragedy too. Do you remember the
that was a
shooting
big
at
part?
Adelaide?
Yep.
And they did something recognizing all of the people that lost their lives, and the community embraced that and loved that part, that they were so community orientated.
I think about baseball. How's that going to work too?
Well, you know what? Mike Palm had this idea, and I know that it didn't go over. I thought it was spot on. Put an MLB team in Vegas, but it's a different team every week.
Right.
You got to give up a home series, right? Every team has to play there at least once a year. It's kind of like going to Europe, right? You've got to play a 3-game series in Las Vegas, but it's going to be look. I've seen the ballpark; it's coming together. There was a lot of talk that it's never going to happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, it's happening. Or if nothing else, they're building a baseball stadium. We think the A's are going to be there.
They're going to be there.
They're going to be there for sure.
They're going to be there.
All right, what have you got? What are your plays of the day?
So what do we got for tonight? Let's see. We got 4 props and 2 plays in baseball. Playing 2 favorites. Don't love that in baseball, including the Cubs. 2 in a row. You win 3. That's a winning streak. But they're going to get it tonight against the Redbirds.
And what's the matchup tonight?
Good question. Don't have it here. Let me go to another tab. It is Imanaga against Plente.
Okay.
Then I am going to jump on the Rays. One of our listeners sent
up on the Rays.
They Martinez is going, who's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
The way that they're, again, just changing the script and everything. They found a bunch of contact guys that don't strike out. It's not about launch angle. It's guys that actually hit ground balls. And suddenly they're going from a team that is competing because they're finding another market inefficiency that is there, much like they did before. And that is the reason that we've seen the Rays
not breaking the bank to sign guys.
Absolutely. They're going that route. And they're on a 4-game losing streak. That ends tonight. 4 player props for tonight. Give me over 1.5 total bases for Brandon Nimmo for the Rangers tonight against KC. Give me Aaron Judge and Ben Rice over 1.5. And Meyer, the